In this segment, we will explore page setup. As I mentioned before, there are two ways to get to page setup. One is through page layout, and then at the bottom of page setup you see the arrow. We can click on it and get to our page setup box. But the way I like to do it is to go over to File, Print, and then down at the bottom you see page setup there. And the reason I like to do it this way is so that I can see the impact of my changes fairly quickly. So we're going to go over to margins, and the first thing we're going to do is notice that it's broken into a whole bunch of different decimals, and what it does, it shows you what the impacts are by line where it happens. If I click on OK at this point, it has moved this over. But let me go back to that one, and I'm going to try something else first. Instead of using these and manually do it, I can also type it in here too. I'm going to go down to the bottom section where it says Center on Page. I'm going to click on Horizontally, and there you can see it puts it pretty much right in the middle. Okay, that's even better, because then I don't have to worry about trying to fit it in there. So if I go back to page setup one more time, to margins, I can do the same thing vertically by clicking on the vertical box. Now that doesn't quite look pleasing to the eye to me. So what I'm going to do is go back in, and I can either change my bottom or change my top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick the vertical so that it's sitting up on the top, and I'm going to increase my top margin by just a little bit. We'll make it to 2 inches. Hit OK. That's a little more pleasing to the eye. A lot of times you have just one piece of paper to hand to somebody in an executive summary, so you want that one piece of paper to look pretty, to look very nice, so that it's pleasing to the eye, and that's what that does. One of the other things that this allows us to do when we go into the print preview area is this lower right hand corner we see an icon. If we click on it, it brings up the margins that we've established. You can see the 2-inch header as opposed to the 0.7 that we had down at the bottom, and you can also see that it's still pretty well centered both horizontally and vertically. And if you click on that again, it gets rid of it. While we're down there, you can click on this other one, which is pretty much a zoom, and now it's got so big we have to use the scroll bars and the vertical scroll bars. But if we click it again, we're back to where we were before. So this concludes the segment on exploring page setup.